Have you ever had an experience where you question, whether you're having a hallucination or not? I'm not really prone to hallucinations. I mean, I don't have a history of that, as far as I know. And how do you know if it seems surreal? If you're, if you don't say anything to anybody, how do you know that what you just saw was not an hallucination? Really. That being said, I had an experience. It's been maybe 20 years now, I guess. At the university that I graduated from, I went to work there afterwards for a short while, and we went on a retreat because when you work at a university, you're real big on going on retreats and team building and stuff. It's what we do. So we were at a retreat site. We were at Lake Whitney, and we were staying in a cabin. It had a big room, and then off to the sides were rooms where you slept, and we were in the big room, and we were having a meeting. No, there was blah, blah, blah talking, and I, got my head down. I just sort of looked down on the floor, and I see this tarantula just walking across the floor, just minding its own business, just walking toward the feet of my friend who was sitting next to me, and I'm like having this little internal conversation with myself, and I'm thinking, is that really happening? Is that really there? Am I really seeing this thing walk across the floor? It's a tarantula, which I had never seen one really up close and personal. I've seen tarantulas in books and on TV and stuff, but I've never really had the fortune of seeing one up close and personal. And so I'm staring at it, and it just keeps inching closer and closer to my friend's feet. And I guess I thought, well, okay, this is really happening. I'm going to do something about it. And at that point, it was all I could do was I just grabbed him by the arm and I yanked him out of the chair, and I just said, get up, get up, get up, because I couldn't say, there's a tarantula on the floor. I couldn't get those words weren't coming out. So I grabbed him, and then he, as I grab him and I'm like pointing to where the tarantula is, and he starts screaming like a girl and hugging me and screaming still, and there's panic in the room, and then there's this really goth strange guy who was very odd, climbed up on the table and then jumped on top of it, squishing the tarantula all over the floor, which was unnecessary, but that's what happened. And yeah. But it really was one of those weird moments where you're like, yeah, I don't know. I can't imagine had I not said anything and it had gotten to the back of his feet, and that would have been horrible, because you feel something, you look down, you see, that would have been even more weird to see this thing crawling up his leg. Yeah, but and it made it an interesting rest of the retreat, because that night, of course, we were all afraid to go to sleep, thinking that there might be another tarantula in this cabin we were in. So they had a ping pong table, and a couple people slept on the ping pong table. And then the rest of us, somehow, I don't know how, like 6 of us slept. Well, we kind of slept. We were up most of the night. But we all sort of were half sitting, we were on like a twin bed. I don't even know how so many of us were on the twin, but yeah, we didn't get much sleep. We were pretty much a train wreck the next day, but yeah. Have you ever had an experience where you think, wow, is this really happening? And if so, what is it? Let's be interactive.